How would you describe Ignite?
I'm a big fan. It's an excellent experience. So it's not the first time I'm coming, actually. I came the first, probably it's the fourth or fifth Ignite conference I'm attending. I have to confess, the first time was probably because the Netherlands were a big development partner supporting our programs. But then when I came, and I think that's what I still keep on finding here, is first the opportunity to meet with people I would not meet in my daily life. So I think the interaction, getting a different view on key issues. Then I think the brainstorming, I always leave with one or two key takeaways that trigger some thinking and that I'm trying to bring back to my teams. So the opportunity to meet with a lot of people and different people, getting access, being influenced by other ideas, other thinking. I think that's great because you don't get that easily, particularly in that space around fragile states, refugees, forced displacement. Those are issues where there's not so much brainstorming, I would say. So really a big very candid and sincere congratulations to the Spark team because, well, frankly, I always wonder how they pull it off. So I'm a big fan.
That's nice to hear. How would you describe your relationship with Spark?
So we have a strange relationship, if I would put it that way. We are not directly working with Spark. We are talking to Spark. Spark is talking to us. So basically, I see it as two engaged stakeholders who are coming together more on brainstorming and assessing experiences, as opposed to concretely work together on a daily basis. Okay. And actually that's quite great also. So we are learning from Spark, we are monitoring what they do, we have good contacts on the ground. I was just speaking to the Spark representative in Burundi, who is often meeting with my own team member on the ground, and we spoke about some of the businesses supported. So that's very much the relationship.
That's nice. The central theme of today is reimagining jobs.
Yeah.
What comes to mind first?
It's like a holy grail that we're all looking for. It's anything but easy. I think it's a challenge that our governments are facing in Europe. It's even more so a challenge in fragile situations. But I think there are opportunities if we can leverage a bit more private sector, make their life a bit easier, support them when they want to do things, make sure that they do it in a responsible way. I think there are opportunities, but they need to be scaled up. I see a lot of micro initiatives, a lot of pilots. We need to be able to scale up on what's happening. Corporate social responsibility, private sector is involved, a lot of CSR. I think what we need is the real business element of the private sector. At the end, they are the ones who will be creating jobs, and the support they get to set up their operations should lead to more opportunities, value chain, integrating refugee entrepreneurs in informal businesses, and job opportunities.
How can we scale up?
I think one element, and it's probably talking to what I find here in the Ignite conference, is the broader ecosystem. Having a less fragmented ecosystem, people talking to each other, sharing experiences openly, and building on each other. The role of an institution like IFC, I think we cannot work with grassroots entrepreneurs. It's not our skill set, but we can support reasonably well-established local SMEs to take them to the next level. And this year you have invited two of our clients, Sediam, Mr. Mosadek Bali from Azilai. We have been working, Sediam, we have worked with them for the last 5 years, with Mr. Bali for the last 25 years. That's our role. And connecting them to you, to Spark, and Spark is supporting them on expanding, on the job academy. I think all of that is very positive. So that's our role, is to enable SMEs with good potential to leverage and to local resources, take them to the next level, and support the establishment of effective commercial lending, insurances, so we focus more at that level, while NGOs can really take care of the middle segment and help smaller businesses to grow.
And you created a partnership with the UNHCR, among others, to develop a new program. Could you describe what would you like to achieve with that program? What is it exactly?
So what we are doing together, so IFC and UNHCR are coming together to set up a joint initiative focusing on private sector solutions in forced displacement. So that's totally new, two very different institutions coming together, a development finance institution, a humanitarian agency from the UN. We feel that that's a new space. So private sector in that space is not very present. We feel at core that there will be opportunities for more private engagement. And those companies will hire refugees, provide opportunities to refugee managed businesses to be formed, to become more formalized. But it's not easy. Just like our experience on fragile conflict situations, I guess 10 years ago, 12 years ago, IFC was probably not investing 50, 100 million per year in that space. Once we focused on it, once we developed new partnerships, new ways of operating in that space. Last year we have done 1.6 or 1.6 billion dollars in private businesses in fragile states. So the ambition is to do the same in forced displacement related context. To get into that space, we need to partner with institutions that know it. And as I said a little bit before on the panel, UNHCR brings three things to us. On the one side, it's the access, particularly in camp settings. Without them, we have no access. That's absolutely key because you need to be present on the ground to understand and to develop very effective interventions. The second thing is the understanding, the market intelligence. They understand that space. They have been in that space for so long. They understand the dynamics. They know how to engage with refugees. They have a global experience. And that's something essential for us to get into a new era. And the last element, as I highlighted, is the protection mandate they have. Because the last thing we would like to do and to achieve or to enable is to bring abusive, exploitive private sector into that space. It's the last thing, the least thing that is required. So the protection mandate of the UNHCR will ensure that we are focusing on responsible businesses. So let's see, it looks like the sum is bigger than the parts, but yeah, it's nascent. We are still in the honeymoon period, so let's see how it works in the long term. But without them, we could not engage, and I think they, to a certain extent, they pulled us into that area because they are looking for private expertise, private sector expertise, which is what we bring. Yeah. And the technical expertise. Yeah.
What makes it so challenging to create more and better strategic partnerships?
It seems so easy from the outside. Okay, you decide to do something and the institutions are coming together, management agrees, and then naturally everything comes in place. Well, different business cultures, different institutional cultures, different ways of managing situations. And here we are talking on the one side, an institution with a lot of technical expertise, a lot of investment banking background, very strong in-depth expertise in financial inclusion, in renewable energy, in agribusiness. And then on the other side, you have a very effective, very large humanitarian institution, which is very good at operating in emergency situations, delivering services and goods and making it happen. The sustainability may be sometimes missing. We can bring the commercial sustainability, but we are slow, we are complicated. So I think it's making those two institutional cultures function, work together is going to be an interesting challenge. But I think we'll get there. I think as soon as we can demonstrate that we have tangible projects and interventions where we can create collectively or jointly some impact, it will make a big difference. I think this will demonstrate, including to our own resources on both sides, that something can be done and we can do it together better than separately. Right. So it's going to be interesting to monitor.
Yeah. What do you expect from the different actors in this process? For example, from the private sector or from governments?
So private sector, I think that's not the most challenging. I just want private sector to do what they are good at. Today, they are massively present in that space through corporate social responsibility, which is great, which is very respectable, which gives them a flavor of what's happening there. What we would like to see them is really also leveraging the core business opportunity. We spoke about Kakuma this morning. when you have 280, 300,000 people in a very remote area where there's hardly any infrastructure, where you don't see what you see in any other similar urban settlement in the country, there's opportunity for private sector on financial inclusion, insurances, sometimes agribusiness, retail, definitely. So, and it's not happening today. It's not happening because on the one side, they were not aware of the potential. So we had to, through data, really teasing them with the opportunity. And it's not happening because it's a politically charged and sensitive issue. Private sector is always asking us two questions. Is it legal if we work there? Is it legal to hire refugees? And then how long will they stay? So that's the first question they're asking. So we need to address that. And then I think once they are decided, once they have a look, once they are committed and to do it, I think it requires a lot of handholding and support. Coming back to Kakuma, we have helped 44 enterprises to start operating there or expand, including refugee managed businesses. Now the issues are around work permits, the issues are around buying the land or finding the land to set up the operation. So a lot of operational change. I think those companies who see the potential there and can bring something new deserve also to be supported. And that's what we aim to do.
Yeah. Is that what you dream of?
I'm very excited by this initiative. I've put a lot of my own personal energy. For me, the aha moment was really when I had a chance to go recently to a refugee, 4 or 5 years ago, to a refugee camp. I thought I knew it from the past, from 15, 20 years ago. But what struck me is the fact that you couldn't see that much difference between the camp and the neighboring population, both quite poor. But I was thinking that if we manage to do very interesting intervention with the private sector in slums in Latin America, if we manage to do things in the Middle East, why can't we do it there? So that's what triggered it. And I see that partnership as a key enabler. So very proud that the institution is getting into that space more seriously.